Stephen was, of course, a science superstar. The most famous scientist in the world, without doubt. His presence, his existence, his life has stimulated students to study physics and science.
Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist.
We need to look after the planet. If we don't, the human race won't survive the next 1,000 years.
His mere presence was enough to excite people.
I could have gone on and on. Space, here I come.
He was more famous than any of the other celebrities, yet had a reputation that was stellar.
Your theory of a donut-shaped universe is intriguing, Homer. I may have to steal it.
In fact, he had quite a wicked sense of humour that occasionally, slowly, would come out of his computer.
My advice to any heartbroken young girl is to pay close attention to the study of theoretical physics. Because one day, there may well be proof of multiple universes, and in that universe, Zane is still in one direction.
He took it all in his stride. He was great fun.
Being on a ventilator has not curbed my lifestyle. Since going on a ventilator full time, I have been to Brussels, the Isle of Man, Geneva, Canada, California twice, and I hope to go into space with Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic.
But we will know him because of cosmology, black holes, Hawking radiation.
Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at.
So Stephen Hawking pulled out of a conference in Israel in protest over that country's treatment of Palestinians. But it was a bit of a back and forth. First he was in, then he was out, now he's definitely out. So what's going on here? Assistant Books Editor Sohrab Ahmari is here. Sohrab, just a general question. Why in the world do we care what Stephen Hawking does and what he thinks of Israel?
Well, we shouldn't. I mean, I think I think it's one of the symptoms of our age where we fetishize scientists just because Hawking has come up with fascinating and insightful theories about the space-time and black holes doesn't mean that his views on moral and political issues should be definitive. And yet we've put scientists on a pedestal this way, and just because he's anti-Israel, therefore he must be right because he has brilliant insights into black holes.
Well, like it or not, though, we do pay attention to what he says and does. I mean, what's his history in the Middle East? Has he done this to other countries too, or is it just specific to Israel?
No, actually, the hypocrisy and the double standards in this are astounding because Hawking actually traveled to Iran in 2007 to great fanfare from the state-run media there. The great scientist has visited, I think it was a 10-day visit according to Press TV, which is the Iranian regime organ, and not a peep about Iran's human rights issues. He didn't boycott the Iranian regime, where there's no such thing as academic freedom, where academics are regularly thrown in jail. So
he's lending prestige to a very oppressive regime.
Right, and he's also been to China, another country where there's no such thing as academic freedom over there. But Israel, the one state in the region where there is a vibrant academic life, where there's academics on the state payroll who basically think the state shouldn't exist, and yet they continue to have tenure, that's the country you boycott.
Yeah, there's another aspect of this that seemed really odd to me. As an academic, a prominent one, shouldn't he welcome open inquiry and sort of go to Israel to see what it's all about? I mean, what does he gain from doing this? Who does he please?
Right. I mean, there was an opportunity for him. If he thinks he has criticisms of Israeli policies in the Palestinian territories, there's a setting where he was invited by Shimon Peres, the president, who's famously a dove, and he could have had a dialogue with Peres about the issue. But this way, you just foreclose debate, and Israel is going to go on being a vibrant economy. It does really well compared to its neighbors. And by the way, it actually produces the chips that allow Stephen Hawking to communicate with the rest of the world. In other words, the chip that allows him to speak despite his condition is produced by Intel, which makes most of its cutting edge computer chips in the Jewish state. So I think, if he were to be doing this in really good faith, maybe he might do away with the chip as well.
Well, the ironies abound. Shame on you, Stephen Hawking, Assistant Books Editor, Sohrab Ahmari.
Thanks for having me.
The possibility of life beyond. A Russian billionaire who was an early investor in both Facebook and Twitter is putting $100 million into a far more speculative social network, one between intelligent alien life and us. He says,
"The scope of our search will be unprecedented."
Who is this space-curious venture capitalist? Yuri Milner. He got rich in the mid-90s taking over Russian state-owned companies like the country's oldest chocolate factory, Red October. He went on to become a Silicon Valley venture capital titan who helped found in 2013 the Breakthrough Prize organization, which grants $3 million to advanced science projects. Yuri Milner's millions are going to be bankrolling Breakthrough Listen, a project that will listen for electromagnetic signals sent from any intelligent beings beyond Earth. The kind of thing Jodie Foster's character found in the 1997 sci-fi drama Contact.
Mathematics is the only truly universal language, Senator.
How will the search work? Milner will fund a team of researchers based out of UCal Berkeley. The group will rent two of the world's largest telescopes and use new signal processing techniques to scan a greater spectrum of radio frequencies than ever before. It will survey about 1 billion stars closest to Earth and listen for signals from the 100 closest galaxies beyond the Milky Way. Isn't that a lot of data? Indeed, the team is tasked with collecting more data from outer space in a single day than previous efforts collected over an entire year, and will be doing this for at least 10 years. Why do they think there might be intelligent life out there? Renowned physicist Stephen Hawking, who's joined the project, says,
"We believe that life arose spontaneously on Earth.
And so, in an infinite universe,
There must be other occurrences of life.
scientists have recently detected 20 potentially habitable planets around other stars, including last year Kepler 186f, a planet nearly the size of Earth, where water might exist and not be either frozen or boiling because it receives the right amount of solar radiation. All these planets are, due to their distance from Earth, beyond the reach of the technology used to snap these high-res images of Pluto. But listening, that's within reach for a curious Russian billionaire. Maybe he could call the project.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, I know, but we already took care of him.
We have been waiting for you.
Killer robots like the ones from Terminator may be relegated to just futuristic science fiction movies, but the risk of robot wars may be closer than you think. Famed astrophysicist Stephen Hawking and Tesla Motors founder Elon Musk are warning the world that a global military artificial intelligence arms race could soon develop. They are calling for a ban on autonomous weapons to avoid an arms race more dangerous than the Cold War. In an open letter presented Tuesday at the Future of Life Institute at the International Joint Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Argentina, they labeled autonomous weapons the third revolution in warfare, following gunpowder and nuclear arms. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, Skype co-founder Jan Tallinn, and prominent linguist Noam Chomsky are among the group of 1,000 researchers, scientists, academics, and tech entrepreneurs who also endorsed the missive. The group states, autonomous weapons are ideal for tasks such as assassinations, destabilizing nations, subduing populations, and selectively killing a particular ethnic group. Experts warn that deployment of autonomous weapons may be possible in years, not decades. Artificial intelligence continues to be a hotly contested issue. AI is already used commercially in finance, healthcare, and iPhones, and firms continue to invest in technologies such as IBM's Watson and Apple's Siri. But questions continue to rise about whether it's possible to create AI that acts ethically. Some are already working to limit the use of AI research in the military. When Google acquired the artificial intelligence company DeepMind, the company made the condition that the technology would not